This video is an overview of the structured walk and the Zen flow. The Zen flow we consider a moving meditation that you will do with your dog to strengthen your relationship and gain your dog's focus. Within the client homework video series, there are several short video clips demonstrating the techniques talked about in this video in greater detail. Please look out for those and watch each one of those. Daily structured walks are essential in this training method. This doesn't need to be a long walk. What we would love to see is for you to engage your dog in a moving meditation where you build a stronger connection with your dog while fortifying their mental stamina. Your dog's ability to focus on you and take your direction, especially when there are distractions, is mentally challenging. This is a much more productive way to meet your training goals rather than your dog ignoring you and dragging you around for 5 miles. We want your walk to be a leadership exercise, where you step into the role of your dog's guru. A guru is a mentor that leads you from darkness into light, and in this case, leading your dog from an unruly pet to a well-mannered, intricate part of your life and family. Like being in the presence of one's guru, your dog will feel safe and secure, thus reducing their anxiety. The structured walk, along with the Zen flow, is recommended twice a day for approximately 15 minutes. If the weather isn't cooperating, you'll get your dog out to potty in a structured way and then do the Zen flow indoors. The relationship building game can also be included in your indoor activities. It's preferred that you do the Zen flow outside as a way to get your dog taking your direction even when there's some level of distraction. Depending on where you're at in the course of this journey with your dog, you may be needing to choose low distraction places, for example, your yard. When you first receive your dog back from our board and train program, you'll need to build your relationship with your dog under low distraction before facing the bigger challenges. The walk outside should consist of approximately 75% structure and 25% free time for your dog to sniff, potty, and engage in play with you, mainly in the sense that when your dog is free, you'll be practicing strengthening your recall. I want there to be a really clear distinction between when your dog is in structure, in the heel position, and when there is freedom. The way that we get our dog willing to hold these commands for a period of time is by there being a pattern of hold and release, hold and release. So we need to really make it clear when they're released to sniff and go potty. So what I'm doing here is I took my long line out, I unrolled it, and I'm putting that on Coda's slip collar, taking the shorter leash off of the prong collar that we use for her walk. And then in order for her to have access to all this space here, I want her to feel like she needs to go through me for access to the space. So I'm going to wait for eye contact before I yes her into freedom. Coda. Coda. Yes. This is also a time when we can practice our recall when our dog is free. Here. Nope, here. Good. Yes. On the walk, we want you to be aware of your posture and your body. This is something that dogs really notice, as their first line of communication is body language. As much as you can, be mindful to embody a stance of confidence with your shoulders back, standing tall, and walking with poise and purpose. Be a leader worth following, starting with your posture and your walk. This needs to be practiced before the graduation lesson to have a seamless transition from our board and train program to your home. Practice as if your dog is next to you and imagine the whole process. If other family is involved in this training journey with you, then they can help. It's the prefrontal cortex of our brain that is involved in learning something new. And this is the same part of our brain involved in seeing ourselves in action. Give each other feedback when you practice, or equally as beneficial, record yourself and watch the footage back. While watching this video, pay close attention to our body, specifically the left leg when we do our heel turns. Your dog's trained to turn with you, to stop with you, and sit by paying attention to your left leg, and therefore you need to be prepared to implement this footwork and body language. The footwork for the heel turns entails a 180-degree turn to the right with the left foot planted. This ensures that the turn will be sharp so that your leash communication will be precise. If you suspect that your dog is not paying attention to you for any reason, or if they're pulling ahead, you'll simply do a heel turn. Please keep in mind these heel turns are helpful anytime that you go somewhere where you need to get your dog focused on you and feeling like they have purpose, like they're on the job. When you first arrive at your destination, or anytime it becomes difficult for your dog to focus on you. When you turn, you'll either do a tap and turn. Think of this as a tap on the shoulder to get your dog's attention, or a tug and turn, which is a pop and release of the leash that will provide pressure on your dog's neck, like a bite, which is communication that makes sense to dogs. You can use both of these techniques separately or together. You can even tap and turn or tug and turn when your dog is turning with you as soft communication to connect with them in that moment. Please frame these tools as communication and guidance in your mind. The Zen flow is something that you will do within your walk, perhaps when you get to a field, or really any place that there is space. Not much space is needed, as the recalls and the heel work can be very short. We're working on these skills where we don't need them so that they work for us when we do need it. We want these skills to become ingrained and second nature to your dog. Very much like the relationship building game, the Zen flow is an extension of that game where you don't need place, but you continue to charge the verbal markers, reinforce the expectations, and strengthen your connection with your dog. It's also important to note that we don't want our dog to ever begin to anticipate what comes next. So as you truly begin to learn all this, change it up and use all these techniques in one flow sequence. The Zen flow is a combination of the following techniques in any order or combination that you end up following. It really doesn't matter. The main thing is that you just focus on your dog while they focus on you and connect. These techniques include infinity heels, heel turns. When you're walking in the heel turns, you will sometimes, or even the infinity heels, sometimes do auto sits. Down. Sometimes you'll take your auto sits into down stays. And that means they're holding their down. And then from down stays to walk arounds, they'll be able to hold their down while you walk around them. And again, we don't need a lot of space for this. This can be just, really short recalls. Only a few feet, or longer ones if you do have the space. Remember, when we introduce a lot of distraction, sometimes we want to keep things tighter. A shorter recall when there's more distraction. But these techniques include, once again, infinity heels, heel turns, auto sits, down stays, walk arounds, and recalls. So within this Zen flow is every skill that you need your dog to possess. We're strengthening our communication, our connection, and our ability for your dog to take your guidance in any circumstance. The Zen flow will help soothe your dog's anxiety when you enter a new environment. There are feelings of safety and familiarity that your dog is conditioned to by doing this routine. Those feelings will intersect your dog's anxiety to help bring them out of the fight or flight response and into equilibrium focused on you. Your dog's already trained with these skills. It's now up to you to learn and embody this method so the transfer is as seamless as possible. Since your dog is trained to automatically sit or stop when you stop, it's important that you do not pause or hesitate. Walk with confidence. Otherwise, your dog may question your leadership. Before the graduation lesson, please practice the footwork for the walk. Also, we're recommending that you practice a mental rehearsal meditation, where you run through a step-by-step process of the structured walk and the Zen flow mentally in your head. This mental rehearsal technique is employed by professional and Olympic athletes. We have included these guided mental rehearsal meditations in your client homework because we believe this is a useful technique when learning something new. Much of this looks easy when you're just watching the videos, but it takes not only the muscle memory but the mental focus to achieve the air of a leader worth following, which is the impression we want to give our dog. So it's definitely worth practicing this so that you feel more confident and so that you do practice that muscle memory. Practicing the footwork and the mental steps are going to help you be much more relaxed in the graduation lesson when you take the reins and we hand over the human-canine relationship that we've built over to you.